Hello everybody and welcome to DAT Play number 5. XKRONUSX here, your host as always. We're doing a little TD on no shower Canals, sorry. My last game was on Card Island, so I got too confused. We're rolling here with Scar H, same codec as last time. It looks like it's going to run pretty smooth. Captures go nicely now. I've had a few comments on the last few videos where they mentioned it's really choppy, you couldn't really watch them. Thankfully those weren't the ones I commented on, those were just the gameplay tests. I was trying to get this working out well, and now it seems like everything will be working out pretty good. So anyways, we'll play a little TD here. Hopefully you enjoy. Comment on it, we'll get some thing running. As you notice, I got my Scar H out here with the premium camo. I finally got a nice little scope on it, so I'm not rolling iron sights anymore, thankfully. It's a lot nicer, a lot easier to use. Pretty disappointed I didn't have one for a long time, because it's a very good weapon, a lot of people use it. But yeah, now we got it all tricked out and everything. It's got a scope, laser, foregrip, everything. We're all good now. This week we're actually running, the premium's running higher XP, right? So dual XP or double XP, right? So I'll be ranking up pretty quick here. Hopefully I'll get more guns. I'll get my snipers back and all that good stuff. So yeah. As always, if you like these videos, like, rate them, you know. If you don't like them, leave a comment, tell me why. I'll try to fix some stuff up and make them nicer. I do these videos for entertainment purposes, you know, like, I want people to like these videos and watch them and enjoy. I usually, what I'll do is I'll watch videos while I'm eating. I've said in past videos. Just because TV nowadays isn't the same as it was, you know. Just it feels TV is just doesn't do it for me anymore. So what I do is I like watching these videos. Anyhow, so last time I asked what people thought of gaming in general, how it's going. Just because it seemed like it seems like it's down on the downward, kind of getting dull almost. I think it's mainly because of we've had the same consoles for 6 or 7 years now. I mean, the 360 came out what, 2006, 2012 now. PS4 came out just around the same time. The Wii came out around the same time too, so it feels like they're using the same systems. They're trapped in. Ooh, there we go. I got my MTAR now. It seems like they're trapped in the same hardware for too long now. And now Halo 4 just came out. It's very beautiful for 360, almost PC quality. It's just that. You need better hardware to make better games, right? 6-year-old hardware just doesn't cut it for the new stuff. Especially if you see like the difference between Xbox Battlefield and computer Battlefield, like PC Battlefield, it's huge. PC Battlefield just looks so much better. You just look at it and it's just like, wow, you know, it's huge. The difference is huge. And I just think that, you know, now that they're planning for the 720 to come out, possible 2013 from I heard rumors, especially with all these Durango rumors, the kits to make the games and all that. It sounds like they're actually gonna go ahead and release systems soon. Try out the MTAR, see how I like it here. But it just seems like. it seems like they're gonna release it, and hopefully with the release, you know, the games get better, levels and the amount of players get larger. Because for Xbox, it's only, I think, 8v8. It's been a while since I touched my Xbox with Battlefield, so I can't remember. But you know, it's a difference between, I think, you know, 16 players versus 64 players on the PC. You know, like the battles are way bigger. It seems like you shoot a lot more people, you encounter a lot more people. It just seems like a lot more fun, you know. So hopefully with 720 coming out, Battlefield 4 coming out soon-ish, I think they said next year. Not 100% on the release date, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll have enough room with the hardware that they can actually have more players. It's more enjoyable experience, right? I mean, the biggest talk about you know, player size was MAG for PS3, and I think they said something like 128 players on the field at a time or something like that. But the problem is they were all separated in different areas. I never played the game myself, so I can't really comment too much about it. But the fact is that gamers need more nowadays. It's not the days of 2 people on one console on TV. It's now we got how many people you can fit into a lobby, you know. And with internet nowadays hopefully getting better, I mean, most people run pretty hefty connections, you know. States I've heard people running 30 megs down, 30 megs up, so 3 megabytes down, 3 megabytes up. That's a pretty hefty connection. You could definitely run, you know, a game like this no problem, especially if you get like a bunch of people like that. You say you need 4 or 5 people with that connection to host the game, right? It should be definitely possible. So we'll see how that goes. But the issue I'm having is that we're so contained with how powerful the system is, and that's what determines, you know, how long the game's gonna be, how big the lobbies can be, how, you know, how much graphics get pushed into it. Because if you look, like I said, you look at the Xbox version versus the PC version of Battlefield, it's just graphically it's incredible, the difference. I don't think I could go back to the Xbox version after playing this. Not just from a gameplay standard, I mean, controller versus a mouse and keyboard, but just graphically, it just, you know, people are more clear to see. You can see a more distance. Just the animation looks nicer. Just everything in general is better in my opinion. And you know, I like being in front of a TV. Even though I use a monitor for my Xbox anyways. I like sitting on the couch at my buddy's house, you know, firing up the 360 and going at it. But just thing is, computer's just doing it better right now for me, and I think it always will be, because even though they released 720, the rumors are that 720 will have HD Radeon 5 graphics, so the 5000 series. Right now we're actually in the 7000 series, and moving more. I mean, the 8000 series, the lower island series of GPUs from AMD are coming out soon, right? So what do you do when you have a console that's going to be 2 generations behind but just coming out, you know? I was hoping that they were at least put on a 6 series, like a Cayman GPU like I have, because I just don't think the 5000 series are going to cut it. The 5770 was a great fucking GPU. It just dual up 2 5770s, and you could just do everything. I mean, Crisis was a big hitter at the time, and you could play that just fine, and most things have a problem. But if you had SLI 5770s, it just ran everything, and for a long time they were just beasts. But the thing is, you know, NVIDIA's 6 series and AMD 7 series, it's totally surpassed that in power, in, you know, just the ability to run so much more at a low power for like NVIDIA's side. they're all about the 6 series running low power for their game, or for the games when it's under load. AMD's all about, you know, chucking as much power into it as they can. You know, like the new drivers with 7970, you can run almost anything ultra, like very high resolutions, and still kick out 70, 80, 90 frames per second. But the 5000 series it's basically just gonna hinder everything. I think that we're gonna be sitting at 1080p resolution for a long time now, and it's about time that they kick it up a notch. I mean, these 4K TVs are coming out from Sony, right? Almost said Samsung. Sony has a 4K TV now. It's 25 grand, so that's a lot of money just to chuck at a TV. But then you have stuff like multi-screening. So say you take 2 screens, put them together, you can get 2000 by, I think it was 2K TV, right? It seems possible. I mean, a lot of people do 3 monitors. So 3 monitors, you get 5000 by, I believe, 2000, let's say P. I'm not saying the exact, because I can't remember, honestly, at the moment. I only run single screen myself. But it's like, consoles seem to be holding stuff back, and it feels like this 720p is just not going to do it, or sorry, the Xbox 720 is just not going to do it. And I don't think the PS4 is going to do it either. I mean, I heard rumors that it's going to have a lot of memory, they're going to chuck a lot of RAM at the issue, and possibly have like something ridiculous like 16 core. I'm not 100% sure, and until everything actually comes out, I'm not going to say for certain, but it's like the 2 new systems are just not going to cut it. And the Wii U, I mean, it's a family-oriented system. It's not for the hardcore, you know. That market, that's fine, you know. Like, kids don't need to be running with, you know, the big boys when it comes to the, you know, resolutions and everything, because it's all about playing your Mario and having fun. I was that kid. I had Super Nintendo, Super Mario World. I loved the crap out of the game, and it didn't matter about resolution, it mattered about the fun, right? The aspect was just, you pick up a controller and you play your platformers. The thing is, with first-person shooters, resolution is big because you see more, right? You see better, and that makes a big difference in gameplay. Right now, everything seems clear. I can see most of my enemies really well. If I had 2 more screens, added resolution, I would be able to see so much more. And it's like, it's all about making the game play better. For platformer, you don't need those high resolutions because you don't need to see your sides that much. It's generally third person. You know, you don't need all sorts of HD graphics. Like, mostly the stuff will just pass you through. So it's like, you don't need all that, right? But for Xbox gamers, for PS4 gamers, there's going to be, for PC gamers, you need that heavy graphics behind your games. It's a selling point, it's an arguing point. I mean, it's the kind of thing where, like, when people talk games to each other, say it looks really cool, it plays very nicely, you know, blah 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 blah. But you know, that's the thing about gaming nowadays. It's a huge factor, you know. So you gotta think like, what's the new console's gonna do for you? Because in all honesty, I probably won't be buying the 720. I'm gonna keep going with my computer. It does me what I need. PS4 I probably won't ever buy anyways. Even if I was to get the new consoles, I wouldn't get a PS4. Not because I don't like Sony. It's just I didn't like the PS3. I had a PS2. right? I had plenty of games on my PS2. I had Guitar Hero 3 when it was huge. I had so many games. I have 2 PS2s in my house right now. The thing is, like, the PS3 didn't do it for me. It was very expensive for the longest time. For the longest time, it wasn't $200. It was $300-400, and when it launched, it was $600. But just like the Xbox, it was $600. It's just way too much for a console, and that's what they're saying about the new consoles. They're gonna be $600-700 possibly, and that's just way out of my price range for a console. My computer is a gaming rig. It costs me a lot of money, but I can use it for, you know, I can use it for a lot of things. I can be proficient with it. I can use it for Word documents. I can use it for rendering. I can use it for surfing the internet, uploading these videos. It does a lot for me, right? With the console, it's gaming, and they both have browsers. You can go on the internet, but until Black Ops 2 came out, you didn't have a way to stream your media or anything like that, so it was very limited in what you could do. That's another thing I want to talk about is now that Black Ops 2 supports YouTube streaming straight from the Xbox or PS3, what do you guys think about that? I mean, because now Battlefield soon will be able, you'll be able to stream straight to Twitch with no extra programs. I noticed that with Origins, they just put that up as like one of their ads. You know, you crank up Origins, it shows you this little information thing, and it's interesting because for the longest time people had to crank out a program and then get XSplit, which costs money, to put their live gameplays out, you know, to record them. But if you can record them straight to the internet, you know, it takes away all the issues that people had, you know. You don't need a computer for that kind of stuff. You don't need all sorts of expensive hardware. It makes it a lot easier for people to show off their gameplay. So what do you guys think about that? Because now it's just like it bridges the gap between just a console into a console plus streaming, a console plus now you can watch your Netflix, a console plus, you know, it's becoming more than just an entertainment system. It's becoming a whole lot of extra. I'm a little stuck here. But I want to talk about that because it is huge. It's a big thing. They're basically saying, you know, your console's not just your console, it is a whole lot of things. It's a whole lot of, you know, I can do anything kind of thing. They're trying to make a statement, you know, because when Microsoft released that they were putting the browser on 360, I kind of thought, well, that's kind of ridiculous. Why would anyone ever need that? But then you think of, like, when I was younger, I never had my own personal computer. I had my PS2. I had my Super Nintendo. There's no way for me to go on the internet and stuff unless the home computer was free. So having your own browser means you can surf stuff. And say you have a little MSN pad, which I actually have. You know, I used to use MSN on my Xbox because I still didn't have a personal computer at the time. You know, because the Xbox was affordable. It was $200, pretty cheap, right? But now it's like you can use that browser, you can go on the internet, you can do things with it. It's really weird because it's branching a gap. It's kind of like Microsoft's trying to say it's the all-in-one machine. You know, they're trying to make the console the new medium that everyone uses, and you can see it with their all devices do everything now, because their tablet, the Surface tablet, will be able to play some of the Xbox games, like the like Fruit Ninja, stuff like that. And you'll be able to keep it connected to your Xbox Live account. All right, so you get the achievements. You have Xbox Live for your tablet, and Xbox Live was on, or Windows gaming for Windows was for PC as well. During the Halo 2 period, a lot of people used it. Sometimes people use it for like Warcraft 30K, stuff like that. But now it's like, it's actually, it seems like it's a viable option to actually have Xbox Live and connect it to your computer, because now, if you actually have decent games for your tablet and your computer that are like Windows sponsored, then, you know, you can actually use Live for a reason, right? But yeah, that's what another thing I want to mention is the Surface tablet. What do you guys think about that? Because like, I look at the Surface tablet and I think, wow, it's kind of like a laptop almost, but it's got the ARM processor in it, so it's Windows RT. But you know, it feels like a full Windows 8 experience. It feels like you're actually on a laptop. Alright, I actually went out and used it at Best Buy, and it feels pretty solid. It booted really quickly. You know, you restart it in like 10 seconds because Windows 8 with the SSD boots really quickly. But it felt really good. It felt like a solid experience. The price point was a little off for me. $600 seemed like a lot, even though you get the touchpad and the, you know, laptop experience. It just seems like $600 was just a lot. For a tablet, I think around the $300, $400 range is really where you want to spend, because a tablet isn't your main computer. A tablet's your PC on the go, right? You're not going to be gaming on this thing. It's kind of like you're in the car, you need something to do, or you're on a long trip, you need something to do. That's what a tablet is to me. Say you might use it as a work machine. I mean, because full with Word and everything. You might use it at school. You might use it at work. Say using a retail environment. I can see that. But $600 for ARM machine is a lot. And it's I want to know your opinion on that, because it's like, is 600 too much? Is it just enough? Am I being cheap about this? And am I right about this? Because it seems, I've asked around, and some people say yes, some people say no, because it is new technology. It has a lot in it, right? Because it's got a touchscreen and it's got a keyboard, so it's a whole experience. It's got Windows 8, so it's justified in being $600. A lot of different comments on it have, you know, been brought to my attention, so it is kind of like, well, I want to know more about what people think, because what people think is a big part of like the success of a product, right? Things like, for example, AMD right now, it's huge. Absolutely huge when it comes to what people think. The Bulldozer, I believe, failed not only because it just wasn't up to the hype, but more people than not said it wasn't a good product. So it ended up being that it was talked down so much that it never did well. Right? The pile driver, which I have, seems to be up to the hype, so it seems like it's going to do well. When you say a product is bad and enough people agree with you, especially on a website, especially with people who haven't even tried it really, people about to buy it will look at those comments and think, oh well, so much of the majority thinks it's bad, why should I buy it? You know, I'm not going to take the chance with my money. It's hard to earn money nowadays. The economy's not too good. I don't want to take this chance, you know, and find out, oh boy, I made a bad decision here, right? So this thing like Surface tablet could be totally dependent on what people think, because Microsoft up until now hasn't released anything that's hardware related. most of the time they'll release something and the HP will do the hardware, or you know, Acer will do the hardware. Asus has computers that'll put their own operating system on it, but this has been an Asus Windows kind of. They were really talking to each other a lot about this because of it's backed by Windows, right? Most things will be a computer and they'll put Windows on it, but this is like the Windows Microsoft RT tablet, so that's huge. Putting their name on it is kind of like saying, "Hey Apple, here we are. We're in business, right? And we're gonna take a number. You know, we're going for you. We're gonna take your profit and we're gonna make it ours because you guys have been doing the iPad thing for a while now. We realize, hey, we can do that better, right? And from what I heard, you know, the iPad's really big. Big as in like a lot of people use it. From what I heard, it's very fast. I haven't had much use with it. I'm not a big Apple guy. I had an iPad Nano 2nd generation, that kind of thing. But it was never the kind of thing where like I was huge into Apple. I was never go, hey, let's go buy that next Apple product. It was more like, hey, it's an Apple product. It looks neat, but way too expensive. Just way too expensive for my taste. And it's always been that way because, you know, the alternative has either generally been a lot less price and also, you know, a little better. You know, in the case of Zune, it was definitely preference. A lot of people enjoy it, a lot of people hate it. It was a hate-love. It's either you didn't like it or you did. You know, and now it feels like Apple is the only player when it comes to music lately. But back to the main point, I was never a huge Apple guy. Like I said, mainly because it was way too expensive for my taste, and especially because the alternative was always cheaper with MacBooks. You know, you had the HP laptops, the Asus laptops. I'm a big fan of. I don't own one myself because I have my desktop. But for the same hardware, you know, it was a lot cheaper, right? Hundreds of dollars cheaper. And even today, you look at like the iMacs, and they have like mobile processors and stuff. Like they're very mobile platform. Even the hardcore, like the server stuff, like the workstation stuff. I could put a workstation PC together, like just a personal computer, just part it out and build it myself for way cheaper, just hundreds and $100 cheaper. Even with like buying Windows 8 for a couple $100, it's just way more into my price range. If I was to build a new machine. And now the thing is, most people, they buy Macs for a reason, right? For the GarageBand, you know, editing music and rendering movies and stuff and all that stuff, and the After Effects. The thing is, I use my Windows machine. I got music on it. I render all my videos with my Windows machine. I do not have an Apple machine at all because I feel like there's no use for it. I don't like Mac OS. Never been a fan of it. It seems like whenever it broke, the only way to fix it was to reinstall. Not to say it broke a lot, but when it did break, it broke hard, you know. I used to be at Fuse Shop, and we didn't get many Mac machines in there compared to our Windows machines, but when we did get a Mac machine, almost 100% of the time we had to reinstall Mac OS. Not to say that's because our guys didn't know Mac and stuff. A lot of the guys, we had a few Mac professionals, or the Mac geniuses, right? But it's like, that's all we could do, you know. The thing is, I was big into Linux for a while. That's all I used. I used Ubuntu and Knoppix. Haven't used much of Mint, but I used a lot of distros, so it's not like I haven't used Linux before, so Unix wasn't a huge change for me. It just didn't like the way it felt, didn't work the way Linux really worked, and it's kind of like, I don't have a lot of explaining for why I don't like Mac and Unix. It's just I don't like it. It didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel, I couldn't use it well. You know, when I'm using an operating system and it's like I have to think too much about what I'm doing instead of just doing it, then it's like, well, I lose, you know, efficiency. It's just, like I use Windows, it works well. I use Linux. For most of what I did, it worked well for running servers. I mean, I'm pretty proficient in computing. I had programmed before, you know, so I'm not your average, you know, run-of-the-mill noob when it comes to computers. It's just Macs and Mac OS. Just me and Apple don't go hand in hand, right? So, but back to the tablet thing. Tablets seem to be getting huge, and it's like they're huge mainly because consumers and regular users seem to be going towards the tablet portion side of things, just because it's a small little form factor. You can bring it with you. It's very popular, and people like being popular. So like, you show up with your iPad, and people are like, oh hey, the iPad, I've heard that. Can I see it? You know, they like to fiddle around with your iPad, and you show them little neat things you can do it on, like videos and all sorts of silly little things. You know, there's an app for that, saying that's huge. All sorts of things. So that's why I believe tablets are huge, because it's just like it's a popular item right now. Laptops used to be huge when I was younger. You bring a laptop to school and people would just, they go ape shit. They just loved it. It was the kind of thing where it was something new. It was something cool. It was something. Oh wow, I just committed suicide there. It's the kind of thing where new things were exciting, right? So tablets are very exciting. They're a new thing that people can experiment with. It's a new way of running an operating system. Like iOS is just a cool little neat thing right now that people are just really enjoying. I honestly gotta say, when it comes to iOS and tiny OSs, I really have a hard time using them. I mean, I'm used to the full functionality of a full OS. I got CyanogenMod 9 on my Jory 2 Global, and for phone stuff I love it, but whenever I want to go on the internet and browse stuff, it just doesn't do it for me, because, you know, on a mobile device, browsers are just a pain. They don't load stuff always, like Flash videos don't load on Droid anymore, which is unfortunate. Loading up certain things, just it doesn't work, so you have to go to your computer, your laptop, and you load it up. That's the nice thing I like about the Surface tablet, is it's Windows 8, so everything loads up the way it's supposed to load up. It's not it doesn't have any issues that way. So it's like, it's that bridge between laptop and tablet that I think is going to be really cool. So, but into other topics. This video is going kind of long. I'll try to find a graceful way to turn it off, probably at the end of this game, because not too much longer. We're doing pretty well. Then I'll cut it off the end of this game so we get a full game in here. I hate to get these more than 20 to 30 minutes because the render time and the size gets huge. When it comes to 30-minute video I just put up not too long ago, that one was 60 or 70 or 80 gigs, very large for, you know, the cap, and the render time was around 2-3 hours, and it got down to a gig and a half. And that was huge because bandwidth, especially over here in Canada here, is like gold. I mean, I have a 175 gig cap space, and if I go over that, it's $1 every additional gig, and that's just it's like highway robbery. You know, you're already paying like hundreds of dollars a month, and then every extra gig over 175 is $1. It's just like, well, I'm already paying so much, and it's like, well, what I do, there's nothing you can do about it. There's no real providers that do have unlimited, unfortunately. And the thing is, you know, I upload, it's a few gigs per upload. If I do it every day, I hit my cap really easily. You know, just general browsing, you can hit your cap. Just, you know, gaming on the Xbox, you know, you can get pretty close if you have a few Xboxes in the house. It's kind of like you really gotta watch it, right? There's some places where you can get unlimited. I heard over in like New Zealand, again, you can get very high speeds and no cap, which is awesome because it's like if the internet gets better, you know, the things you can do get better. If I were to do a live stream, it wouldn't be as good as if I had a higher internet speed, right? And the thing is, I got one of the top tiers right now, so it's like I'm at the highest I can be. So it's like the internet gets better, video quality. I can put better video quality out there. The games run better, right? Because that was a big thing for me playing Gears of War. If anyone listening play Gears of War, internet played a huge role. You know, the best internet won almost every time. But you know, this video's gone on pretty long. I'm glad if anyone listened to the whole thing. You know, kudos and thanks to you for watching. As always, I'm XKRONUSX. Peace out.